What's going on, everybody? This is Seven the Barber. I'm here with the Gums family at their medical facility, Golden Days. Let's take a look. What's going on, everybody? This is Seven the Barber. I'm here with Miss Siobhan Gums, CEO of Golden Days. How you doing, Miss Siobhan? How you doing?
Good.
With the red blazer. I'm great.
It's February, Heart Awareness Month, so I figured I would wear red today.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I said day. It's a month. It's all right. My days start to run together sometimes. We're going to edit that out. Okay, so Black entrepreneurship. This is not a small thing. This is a very big deal. This is a physical building that you and your husband put together. So I know you're very proud of it. But I want to know what brought you here to this place. Like, what motivated you to make all of this happen?
Well, I was, just to give you a little background on myself, I was a registered nurse for 5 years. Mm-hmm. I worked at University of Maryland in Baltimore, so inner city Baltimore, which really drove me and made me passionate about primary care. A lot of the patients I took care of were in those situations because they simply didn't have access in the education to primary care preventative services.
From your position in this lovely facility, what do you want to offer from your expertise to the community?
So I really want to offer primary care because a big part of primary care is education and prevention. In the African American community, we deal with 3 major things: diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. And they are all preventative chronic. They are all preventative chronic illnesses.
Absolutely.
A lot of it just comes from lifestyle. So, changing lifestyle, education definitely helps.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like the Bible said, when people die from the lack of knowledge.
Yes.
So, it's kind of hard to be healthy when delicious places like Burger King and Popeyes and everybody got a problem with McDonald's. I personally have a problem with McDonald's, but you know what I'm saying? McDonald's has a problem with me. So.
Exactly. Yes, and that's common. That's common. What I saw in the city is there's a fast food place on every corner. So people don't know that they shouldn't necessarily consume all this processed food, and it's accessible and affordable to them. So that's what we ended up dealing with, basically.
Okay. Down with fast food and liquor stores in every corner, and up with more medical facilities like Golden Days.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about what you guys have to offer for as insurance. Like can anybody come here with any kind of insurance? Is there
Right. So we accept Aetna, Care First, TRICARE, Cigna, and we also accept state insurance. So Medicaid, we're one of the very few in Bowie that accept Medicaid insurance, which is offered to the working class, family, and individual. We also accept Medicare, which is for the elderly, 65 and older. And we also accept United Healthcare as well.
Okay, so y'all from A to Z, from 3 to grandparents.
Yes. Yes, we cover across the lifespan. Whether you have insurance or not, we can.
What's the lifespan? I feel comfortable with it. That's a good one. Yeah. Okay. It's kind of like Barber, cover across the lifespan.
Exactly. I'm very passionate about women's health. So I want to make sure that us as women are getting educated on yearly pap smears and doing breast exams, and breast cancer is the #1 cause of death among women, and it's very prevalent. So catching things early, that's what primary care is all about.
Definitely prevention, just making sure that people get in here and find out that they're okay or they're not okay, because that's something that we definitely do, especially men. We say, I'm alright, you know what I'm saying? Ain't that your leg on the floor? I'm alright, I got another one. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely need to get to the point where we take more preventative measures. So it's good that we have some people that we can recognize.
Exactly, the goal is to catch something early so that it's treated. And you know, hopefully not morbid, where someone
Absolutely.
could potentially lose their life over. So
Yeah, over something simple that could have been caught from Jump Street. You
mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Yep,
And that's something that
exactly.
happens a lot in our community.
It really does, yeah.
I tell people all the time in my line of work, I see they have something on their skin or something, and I'll be like, well, go to a dermatologist. And they'll be like, nah, I'll figure it out. And be like, dermatologist will figure that out in 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's definitely something that's big.
Yeah, yes.
So tell me a little bit more about what you guys have to offer for this community, your community in this area of Bowie with us.
Yeah, so what we plan to offer here in this community is affordable and accessible healthcare. You know, working in the city, I saw firsthand that that's not something that everyone has. You know, the ability to say that they have.
Correct.
Also, quality healthcare as well. So, you know, a lot of
some of them places they kind of ran down and
exactly. Yes. So in doing
catch something going there trying to get rid of something.
So in doing my clinicals in both undergrad and grad school, I saw these clinics that accepted Medicaid or were for specifically Medicaid families and you know, individuals that had state insurance, and they weren't exactly they weren't in of best quality. You know, there was long wait times. You know, it just wasn't a great environment. It's definitely not somewhere I would want to
definitely
receive
no
healthcare.
hardwood floors and plants and nice sterling silver, you know. But go ahead on. Yeah. Not that I would know anything about that. I've never had to go to a clinic or anything, find anything else out. But you know, they're not very palatable. You know?
Exactly. Yes. So that I'm very passionate about that, and I wanted to make sure that those, just because you can't afford, you know, the commercial plan or, you know, healthcare in that way, and it's through the state, that you still have somewhere.
Have to settle.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's definitely refreshing that you're giving people somewhere that they can be proud to walk into and still get served the way they need to be. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So tell me, how did we get here? How did you get into this building? What manifested? What were some of the things you had to go through, the steps you had to go through in your own personal journey that made you say, this needs to happen? What happened?
So once I completed my graduate school degree, I graduated as a family nurse practitioner. I then left the hospital setting and went into primary care. I was there for about maybe 2 to 3 years, and you know, seeing the patients there, they then started communicating, you know, I can't necessarily make it into the doctor's office all the time, or you know, I have a daughter who's homebound. So that drove me to wanting to take the doctor or the provider to the patient. So I did that for about 2 years as well, while working at a retail health clinic. You know, we had our son, Khalil, who's now 14 months, and, you know, it was hard working at this clinic and doing the home health and, you know, still trying to be mom and wife at home. So my husband just said one day, you know, why don't you do this on your own? You have all the tools, you have all the certifications, and we stepped out on faith and did it. So here we are. At this building.
Sitting inside of Faith Manifested. What's going on, everybody? We'd like to introduce to the segment the Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Caleb Gumbs. How you doing, brother? My man. Okay. Awesome, bro. I gotta ask, man, how is it starting up a business as a husband and wife? I gotta ask that.
Well, as you just mentioned, being a chief operation officer is one thing, but being a husband is a totally another thing. So as we started this practice, I believed in her. I believed in who she is as a person, and that gave me the energy to back her in her dream of owning her own practice, of bringing her vision to light. And that's how we got here. So being a husband to something like this is the easy part. Sacrificing, supporting, and being a part of this is more than a dream for me, it's a vision. So being a part of her vision is something that it becomes easy for me, because it's just lack of effort in supporting what she wants to do. So one of the most important things for me was just being there for her, helping her throughout the way, and ensuring where she lacked, I helped. So
see, they hear that? We out here. We still exist.
Absolutely.
We still exist.
Good men.
I'll call you later, baby. So I gotta ask, starting a business, man. I know it's the bitter with the sweet, the good with the bad. How was that process for both of you? How was that?
So for me personally,
Okay.
starting a business was a journey.
Absolutely.
That's how I could explain it, a journey from separating husband to business partner, from being financially stable to sacrificing to get here, to trusting the process, which was learning and educating ourselves through each and every step. Whether it's saving money and not purchasing what we wanted to because we had a bigger vision in mind, from not getting our oil changed on time. Little things that we were so accustomed to doing when we had a...
So don't worry about that smoke back there. I'm trying to get this building go around.
Exactly. Those are the little things that it takes and a partnership to know what your vision is.
Absolutely.
And what it takes to get there. So little things from contacting the bank. My son was born, as you mentioned, 14 months ago. Exactly. It was the most beautiful thing in the world. But as soon as we finished that, we was together with him 1-2 weeks old in front of a bank trying to sell this dream, trying to obtain some sort of financing to put this thing in place. So we was told no plenty of times, but we knew with one another that we could move mountains. So that's
somebody calling right now because somebody said yes.
Exactly.
Right. Look at that.
Exactly. So that's why we're here today. So just understanding those pitfalls, understanding what's necessary to run a business, to stand up a business, whether it's from permitting to contractors to paint to even putting your own sweat equity into it.
Absolutely.
It means the world, and just be able to work with your partner, who is also your wife. Is nothing but a blessing. So
how's that transition going from office to home?
Office to home is something else. I'll tell you, that's where the sacrifice word comes in once again. We have a 14-month-old son. Anybody who's ever had a child...
That's a full-time job.
It's a full-time
You ain't got to go to no bank and ask for no loan or nothing. Just God, just give it to you. Say, since you're there.
Exactly. So with that being said, it took every effort of both of us to balance getting them to daycare or changing a diaper or even ensuring we still love one another while we're doing this. So, we're sacrificing our date nights. We're sacrificing our trips and everything that we've planned and we set up for ourselves just to put this in place. So those are the little bit of the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to this. But everybody knows a diamond shines after you scrub it a little bit. So that's where we're getting to. We was in the rough, and now we're here trying to make sure that we blossom and that Siobhan succeeds in everything that she's doing.
Absolutely. Well, you know what they always say, man. Growing a business is something like watching a newborn develop into a teenager until you kick them out the house.
Absolutely. And just to piggyback on that, our son was born, and once we opened the business, I say he's 14 months now, around the time he was getting ready to open the doors, he started to walk. And then as he started to walk, now he started to run. So it's impeccable, just so you know that what this is beyond us. It's a blessing, and we just look forward to bringing that same energy to the community and the people. So.
Awesome. So I got to segue from that and ask you, what's next?
What's next for us? Next for us is growth. Next for us is to continue to build and implement our brand, her energy into this community. Absolutely. So once we continue to grow and expand here, and we become a name in each home, and we become family to this community, we definitely would look to bring this same product and the same energy made in her image to other communities who we deem are necessary, who we deem could benefit, and who we deem could grow with us. So we're not a brand that's a huge brand that's just willing to drop ourselves anywhere for financial gain. What we are here for is to build something that the people can grow with together as a family, as a community. So that's where we're headed.
Well, before we put out the offering plate, I'm ready to reach in my pocket and give some donations. What's your side of the growth? Like, what's next that you want to add to it?
Well, I'm really looking forward to expanding our different services. I know that the opioid epidemic is huge right now. We do addiction management here in this facility, but I'm hoping to, open up elsewhere so that we can not only do addiction management, but also offer the counseling and the therapy portion of it as well. And who knows, we may end up as an inpatient facility one day. So yeah, I'm hoping that we can expand and provide that service as well.
Well, definitely pray that.
And to piggyback on her, what she just said, what she's speaking of is just staying in touch with the community, staying in touch with the people to understand what the need is and address it at the best affordable rate we can so that the people benefit. So one thing I want the people to understand about this practice here, it's patient driven. It's not financially driven. It's not big corporation. It's family owned and patient driven. So we are definitely wanting to know the need of the community and address it right here within.
Awesome. Definitely as a black community, man, we ignore generational, wealth. I know it's not focusing on profit, but that's definitely a powerful thing that you both are building as a legacy to pass on, directly or indirectly to your son. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to point out, the need to openly talk about things like just empowerment, financial empowerment, wisdom empowerment, you know what I'm saying? So y'all are doing a great thing. So I just definitely want to get your input on that, but I just want to put that out there too.
Yeah. So once again, speaking of my son again, this is something that it sparks something in all of us. And as fathers, as mothers, what we're going to pass on, what is our legacy going to be? Not to the internet, but to our own son, who in our eyes, we're heroes. Yeah. We are the Superman in our home. Absolutely. So what we wanted to do, Siobhan here would have been financially fine. She would have been okay working for the medical practices that she worked for, or even big corporations that she was previously working for.
Absolutely.
But she wanted to take this leap of faith, sacrifice to show not only him, but the godchildrens and the nieces and the nephews and even the younger sisters and siblings that she had, young women that look like us,
that we can do it too.
We can do it too. Absolutely. We can stand something up. It can be quality, it can be affordable, and we can still succeed with just a little bit of education, with knowledge, and with drive and consistency. Yeah. So to give what we want to give to not only our son, because to us, every child that encounters us that looks like us, we want to give them some motivation. So something that we want to give to them is hope, is aspiration, is dreams, Absolutely. And is futuristic view. Absolutely. To that generational wealth is the key to us and what we're doing in our futures. But for them to even know how to get the generational wealth, to keep it going. I can give you a pot of money, but would you know what to do?
Absolutely.
So what we want to do not only is educate patients about health, we want to educate people about financial literacy and what it takes to even get to this point.
And we've been through it, so we can be that blueprint for others so that they don't have to encounter those, those bad events we just spoke about. Exactly.
Yeah. Know the information that we didn't know. Throughout this process, we've encountered multiple blocks and things that'll be in your way. But once again, as people, we have to understand perseverance. Absolutely. We have to understand that by any means necessary, and understand whatever it takes to get the job done.
And definitely understanding the conveyment of knowledge and understanding.
There you go.
Definitely something that that predicates in our community is just withholding information, withholding growth, acting like, oh, I got it, but I ain't gonna say it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's very powerful what you both just said, the willingness to show and accept with open arms. Hey, not only did I do this, and you can do it too, here's how.
Let me tell you how. Let me tell you what you're going to encounter. We don't want you to go through the same things we went through if it could be easier for you, because it's not benefiting us, it's benefiting the community that we're in. So each one teach one. That's what we're trying to put out into the world.
Hey, brother, I definitely wish you well with
appreciate
everything, man.
I appreciate everything.
Thank you.
And to all y'all out there, dreams come true.
Absolutely.
My nigga 2 for the goat, these other niggas base.
They miss to get round me, your mission keep dripping and leaving me drowning.